The point I'm trying to make is that AI, even though it's implemented in something so strong and by something so strong as Google on the back end, there are going to be flaws.
This episode is made possible by OITVOIP. Find your best-in-class revenue generation for MSPs all over the world. Learn more via the link in the show notes.
You're watching MSP Dispatch, your source for news, community events, and commentary in the MSP channel. I'm Ray Orsini, and in today's story, Google's AI plans now include cybersecurity, in a story written by Amelia David for The Verge. Google is refocusing its AI efforts on cybersecurity, launching Google Threat Intelligence to combine Mandiant, VirusTotal, and Gemini AI for improved threat report access. According to the company, Gemini 1.5 Pro accelerates malware analysis, notably identifying WannaCry viruses, in just 34 seconds. Beyond malware analysis, Gemini helps companies summarize threat reports and gauge potential impacts accurately. Google stresses proactive threat monitoring through threat intelligence, supported by Mandiant's human experts and VirusTotal's community. Google also integrated Mandiant's capabilities into its secure AI framework, reinforcing AI model defenses against threats like data poisoning. Other companies like Microsoft are incorporating AI into cybersecurity, including tools such as Microsoft's Copilot for Security, which enables experts to ask about threats. Tony, this to me seems great. Finally, we're saying AI and it's for something other than Notepad. What are your big takeaways here, man?
I think that's the takeaway right there. AI has had all of this talk, Copilot or ChatGPT, and now it's actually being put to use. Now, you and I have talked about this in great depth. MSP Dispatch from the beginning, when we're talking about something called ChatGPT, and everybody said, "What is that?" Now everybody knows exactly what AI is, and we're still talking about it, but the evolutionary process is impressive. So, in the beginning, we were talking about all the great things, but you and I said, what if the bad guys get it? And that, I think, is going to surface soon. So we're talking about something that's really good. I love an out-of-the-box ready solution that Google is packaging. I want to know, who sees this? Is this in the Google search that we're all aware of? Is this in Google Compute? Is this going to be in Google on the back end on their AI platform, or are they implementing this across the board? So now when I'm in Gmail, it says, hey, here's some attacks that are happening, and we're implementing this framework that's originating from this AI model. What are your thoughts on this? Because it could go in the right direction, but at the same time, it's like throwing a brick in the Grand Canyon and there's really no impact.
Here's my thing. Tell me if any of these names sound familiar. Jamboard, VPN by Google One, Google Podcasts, Google Domains, Google Optimize, Postini. All things Google had that went bye-bye. And I don't have a ridiculously long memory. It's killedbygoogle.com has the list. But Google's not really good about keeping products around. Google's one of those that I worry this is going to become another Apple Vision Pro, really hot for 8 to 12 weeks, and then everybody's kind of forgotten about it since. But MetaQuest still keeps getting talked about. And then there's the other side of this. Okay, they weren't already filtering for security before. Postini was one of the best email filtering like tools available, and Google Gmail had that in, and they got rid of it, but that didn't have AI. So I'm wondering practical AI use versus everybody just slapping AI. They combined Mandiant, fantastic. They combined VirusTotal's database and quote unquote community, fantastic, awesome. What are they doing with AI here that they weren't already doing when they were using their other security review tools? Because, and to your question, do the bad guys use this, or when are they going to start using it? They probably already do. They just don't do press releases.
Well, I was just going to say, it's just not made public yet. Well,
we'll hear it when we cover it.
Hold on. Here's this new bad guy press release as a service that they could actually pay someone to do, third party. It's the new advent of recurring revenue.
I would love that. If you're on the dark web, and I may be opening Pandora's box here, but if you're on the dark web and you have press releases or news you want to share, hit up Phil, Phil, at mspmedianetwork.com and let him know.
Because at least he'll make it look good. So speaking of FYI, they just came out with the and I'm trying to recall this, the Lockbit mastermind has been apprehended from what are identified, not apprehended yet. So that's just coming out right now. I'm really excited to see where that goes. Maybe he'll come out with a press release. But you actually did mention something that was important to me personally. Postini. What an incredible service. I inked a 5-year deal with Postini 3 days before they were acquired by Google. 3 days. You have no idea how painful it was. So what I did when I inked that deal for tens of thousands of mailboxes back in my host exchange days, what I did is I was the only one. Now, this is where we pause for a moment and remind everyone there was a day where Google Gmail went down. There was a day when Postini crashed and it was bad. It was a 24-hour event. I structured our MX records to be before Postini. So in the event, Postini went down. And everyone says, why would Google go down? Google would never. Sure enough, it went down. We were the only hosted exchange provider in the world that was up during the entire time. I think we had a 2-hour outage and everyone, so ironically, we had a surge of business. The point I'm trying to make is that AI, even though it's implemented in something so strong and by something so strong as Google on the back end, there are going to be flaws. Do not let this be the turnkey solution for everything with no plan B. I want to warn everyone. However, the other side of that, I'm really happy that they're moving this forward. AI in a way that they can actually make press releases, unlike the bad guys, and to protect us.
While I'm checking all salient points, I'd love to see us talk more about it in MSP Media Network's Discord. For those that don't know, Tony ran the first multi-tenant exchange back in the days when we all went uphill both ways on hills and we had to go through desert and snow.
I got a twitch. I still see the same group of therapists that treat me daily from those days. But yes,
but no into the amazing stories he has. But for now, while I'm checking my email for some press releases, you have another warning you want to tell us about?
In my notable mention from Sergio Gatlan at bleepingcomputer.com, NSA is warning of North Korean hackers exploiting weak DMARC email policies. The NSA and FBI issued a warning about APT43, a North Korean-linked hacking group exploiting weak DMARC email policies disguised to spear phishing attacks. These attacks, also involving the Reconnaissance General Bureau, that's RGB, aim to gather intelligence on geopolitical events and adversary strategies. APT43, also known as Kimsuki, targets experts in East Asia affairs, masquerading as journalists and academics since 2018. To counter these threats, organizations are urged to update their DMARC policies to quarantine or reject configurations and implement additional DMARC policy fields for better monitoring.
If you found this episode eye-opening, catch more MSP Dispatch at 10 a.m. throughout the week. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.